This week we take a closer look at some of the stranger relationships and attachments in the animal kingdom. Some of these relationships make sense after closer inspection, but others are just completely bizarre. Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to this week's installment of Veld Focus. Now this first clip was sent in by Louise Brown, who spotted a garden snail carrying more than its usual load. After a better look, Louise discovered that this construction was in fact the work of a paper wasp colony. It may be intentional or purely coincidental. The wasps probably built their nest while the snail was estivating over winter, only to discover that their home had become a mobile home in the spring. While the snail does seem a little burdened by the extra weight, a shell full of protective wasps armed with painful stings may actually be an advantage because it deters predators. The wasps probably didn't bank on a relocation, but a change of scenery is always welcome. Did you know, when a wasp dies, it gives off a pheromone, which acts as a danger warning to all the other wasps in the colony. Now this video, sent in by Eckhart Nordia, shows a more one-sided relationship, that of a brood parasite and its host. Here, a female masked weaver is feeding a Deirdric's cuckoo chick. Notice how the female does not seem to think there's anything unusual about her disproportionately large chick, and she feeds its huge appetite energetically. Now all cuckoos in South Africa are brood parasites, meaning that they use other bird species to incubate their eggs and raise their chicks. Although adult weavers go to great lengths to prevent this parasitism, once the egg has been snuck into the nest, the weavers automatically kick into parenting mode. Unfortunately for the weaver's own offspring, the bigger, stronger cuckoo chick pushes the other eggs out of the nest or outcompetes its adopted siblings for food, so they actually seldom survive. Now some families are better at sticking together, literally. Eckhart Nordia spotted this little caravan of shrews while on holiday in the Transkei, and it's a guaranteed heart melter. Led by the safety-conscious mother, her two offspring hang on for dear life as she explores. This is known as caravanning and is the standard method of transport for shrew families, with up to 5 passengers clinging together at one time. Sensing that losing the train will result in disaster, they keep a very firm grip on the base of the tail of the individual in front, until the female decides to return to safety through a grid in the wall. Did you know, shrews have an average heartbeat of 700 beats per minute. If startled, they can easily faint or even just drop dead from fright. Now this little family appeared to be playing a rather confusing game of musical babies, videoed by Ollie Olwacher. The goal is to see who can steal the most young from the opponent's nest. In fact, these domestic mice are actually displaying a relatively common behavior, which is probably the result of the fact that they are more social than other mice. Although they raid each other's nests, they usually don't intentionally harm the young, but with their maternal instincts in overdrive, they attempt to hoard as many babies as they can in their own nests. The exercise seems rather futile, however, since they each seem to be losing as many young as they're stealing. It's a very entertaining game to watch nonetheless. Did you know? Male mice are excellent singers. They serenade potential mates with a specialized song, joining whales, bats, and humans as the only other singing mammals. Now this creature, spotted in Penelope Deacon's garden in Mossel Bay, seems to be avoiding relationships of any kind. This is an African striped weasel, and what's bizarre about this sighting is that it's very seldom seen. And while it's usually nocturnal, Penelope spotted it going about its business in the middle of the day, a truly unusual garden find. Now to end off, we meet an animal with a rather unusual habit. This octopus seems to have a fascination with fishing sinkers. Katarina Brink found this hoarder with an excellent collection, and it appears to stand guard over its treasure. But perhaps this is just a coincidence, and the sinkers were collected and left behind by a child playing in a rock pool. Or maybe this peculiar cephalopod is simply trying out a new fishing method. Did you know octopus have 3 hearts? 2 of the hearts pump blood around the body, while the third is exclusively reserved for the blood directed towards the organs. The heart actually stops beating when they swim, explaining why octopus prefer to crawl along the bottom, as swimming tires them out. That's it for this week, and remember to send the bizarre things you find out in nature to PO Box 417, Lyndhurst 2106, or email us at info@5050.co.za.